We welcome to the studio with us once again, as we do every Friday. Rick Davis is here from Fidelity Bank. And how many times have you told us of these great stories about people that were unable to get themselves a home because of one situation or another? And you said, but they haven't come talk to you yet. And now it looks like you brought us an example.
I brought you an example, and it happens to be your birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
And
Thank you.
We've known each other a total of 48 hours.
Really? Tell us who you
48
brought
hours.
with
Okay,
you.
so what happened? What's going on here?
Let her tell it.
Okay.
Well, good morning.
First of all, your name is Angie?
Yes.
Angie?
Alt.
Alt,
Yep,
okay.
I'm from Altoona, and got acquainted with Rick through a mutual friend in Altoona, and we had been working with a broker. We sold our home in Altoona June 20th.
You're homeless with the family, staying
Yes.
with 4 children. Have I got that?
And yeah, we moved out on June 20th thinking we were closing on our new home. We'd been working with a broker, and a big appraisal snafu happened. And yeah, I have 4 kids, and I've been homeless since June 20th. I mean, granted, we have family, but it's been a trying time. Plus, I work out of my home, so it's just been crazy.
Now, where were you planning on going?
To another home in Altoona.
In Altoona?
Yep.
Okay, what part of Altoona?
Just right outside of Altoona. It's in just a 1 acre
Okay.
newer ranch home that we
With
fell
one
in
of my
love
builders,
with.
by the way.
The what?
One of my builders
One
was
of your
building
builders,
it.
of course.
Oh, that made it all work.
Okay, continue.
So
I'm
a
sorry.
little
No,
snafu
you're fine.
happened that
Yeah.
really threw a wrench in it. So were
Yep.
you able to continue on with the house, or they're just like the deal
Well,
is done?
nope. Every day our broker said, and the appraisal company both, I would call at 9, noon, and 5 every day, and they would say,
Really?
end of business tomorrow. We promise things will be taken care of. I have, multiple emails, promises that were left, hanging every day, and
What was the big problem? What was the big hiccup?
The appraisal itself was red flagged because an appraiser did it wrong, but then in order to
I
get
can help on that
yeah.
one. Remember, I keep complaining about out-of-state lenders?
Right.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so then they send an appraiser from out of our area. So they missed a new construction house by $40,000, right? Then they missed the upkeep on their houses is beautiful. So they're wrong on the appraisal because they're not acclimated to our great area. So if not being local, not knowing what you're doing, and to have a local guy acting like you're local is what happened.
So
Okay,
where does that stem from? Is that
Yeah.
from the broker? Is
The
that
broker's
from
choices, and brokers really work wherever they can get activity at because they don't have the same benefit of having an FDIC bank behind them.
Okay.
All right, well, let's explain this then, because you said it was the wrong appraisal. How did that affect
Well, they're
everything?
certified to do it for the nation, but they're not really certified to do it for Des Moines. So if you went to Davenport, Iowa, the same house is worth $100,000 less than it is in Des Moines. So if you, and this one happened to live in Davenport, if you're living in Davenport, you might not know the value, and you might not have the MLS to look at the real value that's going on. So that was one of the mistakes, and then the broker's inexperienced in how to move things, and then the broker doesn't have any money. Like, if I make a mistake, I have to go to the bank, get it out of the vault, and make the loan and fix it later. So nobody doesn't get the house if I say they're going to get it.
So she was unable to get the house because of that mistake.
And the broker doesn't have any money, so they keep giving him a different story. And what really happened is the builder's going to leave, had other offers for his house for more money, and on the one that the seller to her. So she's buying the one, and the people are going to lose their house because they haven't sold this one. And their contract is expired. The builder has got a bigger offer for the house and wants to go on vacation. She comes in, and I said, who's the builder? We go through it, and then I know the builder. He's my client. I call the builder, put her on speakerphone because they still didn't believe me, right?
I did. It was just kind of becoming too hard to believe because the people that we're purchasing the home from, they were buying a new home, which is his builder. Well, he was wanting to sell that out from underneath them, so then our people wanted to just stay in the house we were buying because they were like, if we're not getting our new dream home, we just want to stay here. And I tell him that, and he's like, well, who's the builder? I text our seller real quick, who's your builder? He's like, I'm friends with him. Let me call him. And he called him and said, hold off, we're going to make this work. And it just started to all fall together.
In fairness to the builder, they'd missed their contract sale, right?
Yeah,
they weren't there to buy on their time.
Yeah.
So the builder has more demand for his house, and he hasn't agreed on price. People are wanting to overpay to get the house.
Right.
And he believes because the sale is pending on a broker, he doesn't believe it's ever going to happen anyway. Okay. So he puts a drop dead day. I'm going to take the money. I'm going to take more money because I'm trying to be good and honor an old contract when I have a higher offer, but I don't believe it's ever going to end.
He's just doing business.
Yeah, he doesn't believe they're ever going to do
Right.
because so many times they never get to me. or to the person that can help them. So I
what
said,
would the broker do? Just keep sending emails saying tomorrow?
the story goes on
Yeah.
until you get mad or they do it. It
Okay.
just goes on. This happens about 3 or 4 times a month, but this one happened. My financial planner called her, was it your mother?
My mom had
your
gone to
mom was
see him.
there
She
to
just
see
happened to
him.
be
He said, and her mom was crying in his office about their losing the house. He calls me and asks me to help. I said, okay, I'll move my appointments around. They come immediately over. And then I see who the builder is. I call, I put it on speakerphone because they're very nervous. And this can't happen. We've been going with this since April is when it started, by the way. It's not like it just started with that broker. So I said, boom, boom, boom. He said, if you say it's in, brother, it's in. I said, it's in. It's done deal. Very good. I hold the house. It's theirs.
Yeah.
And then she started crying.
Oh, yeah. I was like, this would not be happening after all the pressure and phone calls and emails that we've made for him to fix something. And like, honestly, in an hour, he have reassured us or less that he was going to take care of what I've been
struggling with.
Yes.
For months, and then being homeless with your kids.
Yeah.
So what's the latest situation then?
So the latest situation is that last night I took my mom to dinner and got a message from Rick's assistant who said, "What are you doing today at 2:30? Do you want to close on your house? Happy birthday from Fidelity."
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
I found a nuance in the TRID laws that I could do one particular kind of loan in-house without having to do a 10-day notice. So I did that, put it in play, and we're going to do a temporary loan so they get the house and then a permanent one within the month.
Amazing.
How about that? And see, this is one of the benefits. We've been telling you guys about this for a long, long time, of coming in and sitting down, and you can attest to this, face-to-face with this guy, because he can work magic.
He truly can work magic. You walk in, sit down, he takes a little bit of information, and all of a sudden his team is like on you, and they're already working their magic like while you're sitting there talking to him. It's amazing.
So he's the quarterback, and the whole team's working around him.
Yeah,
he's got my vote,
really
that's
good.
for sure.
Really, it worked so well because the law firm was reputable. We knew him. We worked with them. Right. The builder was ours, so I didn't have to explain who I was and call somebody else a developer. Because sometimes I would call the developer who has influence on a builder that I have all the developers on my side.
Right.
Tell them what I'm doing. Because if I don't have a relationship, I call a reference to get one because they needed help right then.
Well, congratulations. Thank you for sharing your story. Happy birthday. And it all comes down to knowing someone that's local, has the connections, and can work for you on a personal level.
Personal is important.
And that special loan that you found and knew about that I have never heard of, I'm sure a lot of people have never heard about that, to make sure you got into the home this quickly.
Most bankers don't know about it.
Exactly.
Honestly.
But Rick does. So if you want more information, you want to meet up with these guys, this is what they can do for you folks. FidelityBank.house. Yes, that is a real website. Check that out. Or 343-2300. Great number, by the way. That's part of it, especially 2300 part. Anyway, 343-2300. Rick, as always, great job, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Good job, man. And happy birthday, young lady.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We will be right back. It is 20 minutes past 9 o'clock. You're watching CW Iowa Live. Great dog stories coming up next. You don't want to go anywhere.